Hello, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Madman. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a comment in the comment section, and share this with your friends and family on social media. Today we are talking Michigan recruiting, and with Mike Hart's departure, who takes over the running backs coach position for the Wolverines. There are some candidates. We'll talk about it, all that, and of course,
I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful.
those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro them. And I'm gonna tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always,
I'm upset.
let me talk to you guys about an amazing opportunity. I recently partnered with Mint Mobile to bring you, the subscribers of this channel, the fans of this channel, the best possible service at the lowest possible prices. Let me tell you about it. Mint Mobile's service is on the nation's largest network, and they can offer these prices because they have no overhead, no brick and mortar stores, no lights, gas, water bills, none of that, just service to you. And the best part, you can bring over your current phones to Mint Mobile. I've been using this thing, running it through the paces, and it checks all the boxes. Use the link in the description portion of this video. Get yourself a Mint Mobile device now. Stay angry, my friend. Let's get into it. Former Michigan now running back coach Mike Hart stepped away after 3 years on the job for the Wolverines. Of course, Mike Hart, a former player for the Wolverines, a Michigan legend who coined the phrase little brother when referring to Michigan State, which I have elaborated on myself or added to, and we just refer to them as little bro them now. But either way, Mike Hart won't be returning to the Wolverines sideline for the 2024 season, and we're not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate, at least on this video, the reasons for that. But 3 straight years, Michigan, of course, Big Ten champions in all of those years, beating their chief rival in all of those years, making the CFP in all of those years, and the chief reason, especially on offense, being the fact that Michigan could run the ball. Mike Hart, in addition to being the running backs coach, was also the run game coordinator, so he deserves a lot of credit for that. In addition to his prowess as a coach, he was also doing a decent job on the recruiting trail as he brought in players like Cole Cabana, like Jordan Marshall, like Kayapana. So whoever replaces Mike Hart is stepping into some very big shoes, some shoes that will be tough to fill, at least from a coaching and recruiting standpoint. That being said, Michigan has a duty to do to replace Mike Hart, and we're going to talk about some of the candidates. The first being right in-house, Denard Robinson, a Michigan legend in his own right. Denard, former quarterback for the Wolverines. He acts now as the assistant director of player personnel, but we all know Shoelace could cut a rug when it came to running the football, and he has connections in the South Florida area, so in terms of recruiting, that would certainly be favorable for Michigan in that area. But he doesn't have a lot of chops in terms of experience coaching running backs, so that is one downfall. But I like the upside on Denard Robinson. I know that there's a lot of people within the fan base that aren't too keen on Robinson being the next guy, but you don't get that experience until you get that experience. You know what I mean? It's like when you go for a job and they say you don't have experience as a manager. Well, of course not, because I've not been a manager. Or, you know what I mean? You don't get that experience until you get that experience. That's bottom line. But moving on from Denard Robinson, a name that has been popping up often, DeMarco Murray, former Oklahoma running back, former Dallas Cowboy running back. DeMarco Murray would be a huge addition to the coaching staff. The problem is I'm not sure DeMarco Murray wants to leave Oklahoma, where he currently serves as the running back coach, where he is a legend. So that would be a tough get. But DeMarco Murray and, of course, head coach Tyrone Moore have history, both played at Oklahoma. They were teammates at Oklahoma, so they have that connection. Murray took the job as the running backs coach for the Sooners back in 2020. Did a great job recruiting Donovan Edwards. Of course, that didn't work out for the Sooners as Donovan stayed home and went to Michigan. But it's hard to see, like I said, him leaving that job to come to Michigan. But if he does, it would be an excellent get. Another name, Devin Spalding, who is the current running backs coach for Wisconsin. This would be the second coach that Michigan would poach from Wisconsin as current defensive line coach Greg Scruggs, who was just officially brought on for the Wolverines this past week. So Devin Spalding does have some good history with running backs as well. He's a Michigan native. Let's start there. He played running back for Central Michigan. He then coached at Youngstown State and Cincinnati before following former Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell to Wisconsin. And he has a solid history with running backs himself. So there's that. Moving on from Spalding, another name that has come up is Tyrone Wheatley, another former Michigan great who also was a member of the Michigan coaching staff before. I think he's a head coach now, though, at Wayne State. So that'll be tough to do, too, to come back after being a head coach. But Wayne State is a Division II program. Not to poo-poo on that at all. He is a head coach, so I can see it happening. But we've seen Division I head coaches leave that job to go be offensive coordinators for vile, disgusting cesspools in Columbus. By the way, not just Division I head coach, a Power 5 head coach, and Chip Kelly left UCLA to go be the understudy of his former understudy. It's very weird. It's like Lil Bro Nim went and got Lil Bro Nim. But I digress. Tyrone Wheatley would be a welcome addition. He does have the chops for it, obviously, and he is a Michigan man. So let me know in the comment section of those four, who do you like the most? Who do you think would serve Michigan the best in that capacity? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Also, before I move on, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Sam Webb of 24/7 has alluded to there being a very big name out there that Michigan head coach Tyrone Moore is in conversations with. So, and that would be none of these guys, I'm guessing. So we'll see what happens with that as well. Keep it locked for more updates. Let's get into some Michigan recruiting, starting with 4-star wide receiver out of Geneva, Illinois, Geneva Community High School, Taylon Taylor. Taylor is a 6', 165-pounder. He is also being pursued by the likes of Georgia, the other state, Notre Dame, UCLA, and Ole Miss. He is the 110th ranked player nationally, the 13th ranked wide receiver, and the number 4 ranked player in the state of Illinois. He is set to visit the Wolverines on April 7th. He has been to A2 on several occasions already and has a great relationship with Michigan wide receiver coach Ron Bellamy. This would be a great get for Michigan. That goes without saying. You check out his tape here. He looks the part. That said, we as Michigan fans, and Michigan does have stiff competition, he will also be taking spring visits to Georgia, Ohio State, and Notre Dame, and trying to work in UCLA and Ole Miss. He looks to make his final decision this summer, so keep it locked here for more updates. Moving on, in fact, and another wide receiver who will be joining Taylor on April 7th and visiting the Wolverines, Taz Williams out of Red Oak, Texas, Red Oak High School. He is another 4-star receiver, 6 foot, 181 pounder, the 128th ranked player nationally, 23rd ranked wide receiver, and the 21st ranked player in the state of Texas. Michigan has positioned themselves pretty well with Taz Williams, as they are thought to be at the top for him, right along with Texas A&M, with the other state in Texas bringing up the rear. But this spring visit, will go a long way. By the way, both of these visits are unofficial visits. Will go a long way in the Wolverines making a further impression on both of those players, and I'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Switching gears a little bit to the defensive side of the football. In fact, the defensive secondary, Chris Ewald, who Michigan, or was committed to Michigan in the 2025 class. In fact, he was the first player committed to Michigan in the 2025 class before his decommitment, has been contacted by a person that we spoke about a little earlier in the video, Denard Robinson, the assistant director of player personnel. And Denard was just letting him know that he should be expecting a contact from newly hired Michigan defensive backs coach Lamar Morgan. He still has Michigan in his top schools, although Miami is now the leader in the clubhouse, and they have the crystal ball for Chris Ewald. Michigan still in the thick of this thing, though, and it won't be fast enough that Lamar Morgan makes contact with Ewald, and hopefully Michigan can flip this thing around. Of course, he lost his main recruiter and a plethora of other coaches that he was making contact with on the defensive side, but those guys have all been replaced now, and we'll see what Lamar Morgan can do. He's got his work set out for him, that's for sure. Speaking of Lamar Morgan and having his work set out for him, another 4-star corner, Dwayne Galloway out of Ohio, Columbus, Ohio to be exact, Franklin High School. He's a 6'1", 175-pounder. I've spoken a lot about Galloway. He's still expected to make an appearance on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. He is rated the 122nd player in the country, the 11th ranked cornerback, and the 6th ranked player in the state of Ohio. He was long considered a Michigan lean, but with the coaching changes and the delay in Michigan announcing officially their new defensive hires, that has changed, and now Purdue seems to be the leader in the clubhouse. But fret not, as Lamar Morgan and Coach Tyrone Moore have been reaching out to Galloway. He just tweeted recently, so that is a great thing. This kid, by the way, a very good athlete. You see the tape, runs a 4.38 40-yard dash already and a 10.42 100 meters. So an excellent athlete. Can't wait to have him on the show to talk a little more about his recruitment. By the way, follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Be sure to check me out every other Sunday, and that would be this upcoming Sunday on Minute with the Madman on the Week 0 channel. I'll be live tonight, I promise. I know I missed out last week on coming live after I said I would. Pause. But I'll be live tonight doing a Blue Tube tonight. And then tomorrow I'll be on Week 0 doing the Maize Blue and Gold show. So be sure to check all of those out. And stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down.